Warning, this video is not made for kids. If you're a kid, go away. Alright, first video of the year. Well, I mean, technically, it's my second video, but that video was made last year, yada 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 yada. But today, we have a short creepypasta, a Spongebob one. But it's not a lost episode or a haunted game. Instead, it's a computer virus. I'm surprised that there hasn't been a whole lot of computer virus creepypastas. There's a few here and there, but they are very rare to come by. Well, unless you go to the .exe section on GameJolt, or Minecraft horror mod number 400,000. I think that malware has potential to make good creepy stories with, considering that some computer viruses are almost like real-life creepypastas. But is this story I'm about to read? It's a Spongebob Creepypasta. What the hell do you expect? So let's get into this nautical terror, shall we? You have done stupid things as a kid. I have done stupid things as a kid. We all have done stupid things as a kid. This story is one of those stupid things I've done as a kid, which I'm about to tell you right now because the subject I discuss here is kind of interesting. I don't know, I can hardly find any documentations at all of this weird computer virus I downloaded just as a youngster. So it all started back in 2011, when I was only 7. Now back then, I would just click on any result that first pops up to me after I search something, even if some of them were malicious. I probably got a ton of viruses that I didn't really know were viruses on my old, now dead computer. But the reason why my old computer died is actually the subject of this story and helped me understand what a computer virus actually was. Or at least one of the more interesting forms they take. So basically, one day I was searching up stuff on Google on my very laggy device, like free SpongeBob episodes, but I royally misspelled SpongeBob in so many ways that it was nearly unrecognizable. And eventually I landed on this rather interesting webpage, which had a blue background and a low-quality image of SpongeBob on the right, with some download links to Season 1 and 2 of the show as a .zip file. Another thing to note, albeit kind of unnecessary, I assume, but I'm just saying it here anyways, is that this webpage seemed rather too old. It still used a hit counter of all things, which I didn't really commonly see when browsing the net. Now, if you couldn't tell already, I was in my SpongeBob SquarePants craze at the time, so of course I'll download the not suspicious looking zips, and I extract them all in a desperate attempt to watch them, and that totally fucked up my computer. This is when my vivid memory of this one day becomes more clear due to how the virus looked in general. So first of all, I was spammed with a bunch of pop-ups with some weird looking cartoon fish that I know definitely weren't from SpongeBob SquarePants, with some nonsensical phrases on this image like Yerg, Herg, and Olga Herg, and other strange gibberish. When I tried to open up Google, there should have been a comma there. For some reason, it would keep closing itself, which made me a little mad. But then I went to try to play Roblox. God. Only for the app to get closed as well. So then I started clicking on any app that I have on my computer in a desperate attempt to open them, with little to nothing working. The pop-ups themselves started becoming more weirder looking as time went on, in just a span of a few minutes, where now they just started looking more like cheap, pixelated, semi-overexposed images with Photoshop details put into them, like human hands being attached to a real fish, or a snail with some goat horns, with the same nonsense phrases on them. Unlike before where they just previously just looked sorta like some obscure cartoon stock photo of fishes, now I started getting the feeling that my computer has something wrong with it. Really? Now you just realize that? So I go up to my dad, who's in the kitchen, and I ask him to help me out with my device. He and I walk back to my room where my computer is in, and he, like me, could definitely see something was a bit wrong with my computer. He tells me I should try to delete the file that I recently downloaded, but I didn't know how to really get to it like I did before. My memory, especially as a kid, was a bit wonky. So he showed me, Dad. So we tried deleting the .zips, but we couldn't because even trying to open up the file explorer would just automatically get closed almost instantly every single time. My dad then looked at me and told me he will try to get me a new computer next week because it's obvious the one I'm currently using is a bit screwed to say the least. I nod and my dad then leaves the room and I look back at my computer once again. where now it's locked under a paywall of some sort with a low-quality SpongeBob image on the left. I couldn't really exactly recall the payment demanded was, but I remember it was a stupid high pitch, and it would tell me that if I didn't comply, all my files would be wiped out of my computer. Accepting my fate, I just watched the computer keep counting, and after a few minutes, I just went to go take a shower because nothing crazy like the weird pop-ups were showing anymore. And that's all I can recall. Sorry for the rather somewhat abruptish ending there, but, well, that's all I can remember, and I have been trying to search for the same website in recent days or viruses with no luck. Now, the reason why I'm searching for it now is because, well, sometimes I got weird hobbies and I like to read about and research viruses. I like to clarify though that I don't want to make the same mistakes downloading it again, but I want to see at least a documented instance of what I had experienced, covered somewhere, or at least a demonstration video of it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It isn't seen on any YouTube channels or any other video platforms at all. Sure, there are some close-looking ones I can find, but they are definitely not the same, and so far I got no luck with finding whatever I got there. Maybe that's for the best. So that was the SpongeBob computer virus, and I got to say is that it's not really much of a creepypasta. By that I mean it feels more like one of those true computer virus stories that you see on those horror channels. Some might say, well, what's the difference? And that difference is, to me at least, as I know not everyone shares the same opinion, is that creepypastas are fully fictional and dwell more into the supernatural than real horror stories, which are about things that can actually happen in real life. But it's not a knock on the story. It's well written, well, except for the beginning. Also, the story is called Weird Computer Virus, relating to SpongeBob SquarePants, but it's like your average ransomware. I mean, I guess the pop-ups of fish can be considered weird, although the image of a snail with horns is funny to me. Well, I don't really have much criticisms of the story, well, except for the fact that it's a little boring. I mean, it's well written, not cliche, even though I don't have issues with cliches personally. I'm almost inclined to believe that this story is actually real due to how realistic it is. In fact, I'm actually going to say that this story actually happened. And hey, computer viruses are actually scary either way, so it's a win-win. It's not a memorable story, hell, like I said earlier, it's borderline boring, but it's competent, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5. And hey, at least it didn't use AI. So that's it. Wish me horrible luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.